The new guidelines, the guidelines for the lockdown 2.0 are finally out, and all agricultural activities has been permitted. So these are the revised guidelines for the second phase of the lockdown that we are experiencing. Industries are allowed to function in SCZ areas. Construction is now allowed, and agricultural activity and also industrial activity in rural areas has now been allowed. So these are the big changes that we're going to see in this second phase of the lockdown that was announced by the Prime Minister yesterday. Remember, the number of cases in India have been increasing of coronavirus, and it's not possible for the lockdown to be eased. However, some industrial activity, keeping in mind the hardships that people are undergoing and also the economy. So therefore, we're seeing this easing or this new set of guidelines. Let's go across to our reporters for more on this. Neeta and Sunil joining us for more. Sunil, first to you. So now take us through how the guidelines for the second phase of the lockdown 2.0 are different.
Well, lockdown 2.0 is different because, and that's what top PMO officials have explained to me. As we speak, they are speaking with the DGPs as well as the chief secretaries, as well as DMs and SPs who will have to implement it at the grassroots level. Let's remember and recall that the National Disaster Management Act has been implemented. It has been invoked, and now it is applicable till the 3rd of May. Having said that, the Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister, the Cabinet Secretary, the Home Secretary are briefing them and explaining to them the new provisions. Let's remember what we are saying, and all these things that have been put out as I speak are only effective from the 20th of April, and that too in non-COVID, those who are not hotspot areas. That will be notified separately by the Ministry of Home Affairs, dependent on what the Health Ministry sends to them in terms of management of the coronavirus. So it's on that basis that they have allowed the entire agriculture sector, the special economic zones, the plantation labor, the National Rural Employment Guarantee Program. A whole lot of provisions have been made, apart from the fact that you'll have to wear a mask compulsory. And as we've been reporting, Gargi, right from day one, social distancing will have to be followed. So these provisions have been made, and it's in this backdrop now that the government has made those relaxations. But as I said, there's a caveat. It will be effective from the 20th of April, but only in areas which are not affected.
All right. And Neeta, the number of coronavirus cases in the country have now crossed 11,000. So the big worry with, every day we're seeing increases. As Sunil was telling us that these new guidelines and this, allowing of various activities is going to happen from the 20th of April. And yesterday during his speech, the Prime Minister did say that to mitigate hardships to the public, there was going to be a little bit of a change that we're going to see. And we've been seeing a lot of migrant distress as well in our cities. Is this something that we can hope may help that in any way?
See, this is a very big issue as far as this migrant labor is concerned. Gargi, top level officers have been discussing both the incidents both in Surat and also in Mumbai yesterday. As far as the yesterday's incident was concerned, there are reports which are reaching North Block which indicate that there was some kind of a rumor which was going around that some trains are going to get started after lockdown 1 is going to get over. So that is why these people, had assembled there in Bandra railway station. However, now Mumbai police is investigating also on these lines. But as far as these relaxations are concerned, we have also been reporting like 3-4 sectors, whether it's agricultural, whether it's pharmacy, whether it's construction or industries. These sectors will see some kind of opening up. However, no movement from one district to another of even labor would be allowed. The center has advised all the state governments and also the union territories to make use of the labor which is available locally, and also help them in reaching from one point to another. If the labor has some problems from reaching from their place where they are staying to the place where the industries are located, so the industries are going to make a transportation also available, and more importantly, they can help the labor to stay in their own areas, in their own compounds. So that is one aspect which the center was discussing with various state governments. And also as far as these agricultural relaxations are concerned, agricultural industries are concerned, various states were saying that either it is a sowing season in their respective states, or it's a harvesting season in their respective states. So relaxations have been given to both. But again, labor should be, utilized locally only. And as far as social distancing is concerned, many state governments have come out with these proposals that number of mandis which are going to acquire product of farmers which they have produced, the numbers are going to increase. And also, limited number of farmers would be going and visiting a mandi on a particular day. Like in case of Haryana, only 100 farmers would be allowed to sell their produce to the mandis on a particular day, 50 in forenoon and 50 in afternoon. So that is the kind of social distancing that the state governments are doing. And as far as industries are concerned, industries again have got somewhat of relaxation, and even fishery units have got relaxation. So 3-4 main sectors have got relaxations in the second phase of lockdown. But as far as numbers are concerned, center is obviously more concerned because more than 3 lakh people are still in quarantine or in isolation wards in various states. So that is what the Prime Minister meant when he said that in next week now more strictness would be observed, because all these hotspots, each and every individual would be physically checked by these health workers just to contain this virus, contain the spread of this virus. And center is trying to keep a watch on it. There is a control room, integrated control room, which has been set up in Ministry of Home Affairs, where NDRF, about 15 to 20 officials of NDRF are placed 24/7 there, which keep monitoring as to each and every aspect as to what is happening in the entire country. Gargi?